Welcome back, everybody. I'm Canadian Moose Plays, and this is Cities Skylines 2. Hope you all enjoyed the brand new intro for the series of Strathcona. It was a lot of fun putting that one together now that we have a city big enough that I could get the shots just the way I wanted to. I'm going to come in here and adjust these roads. I got a comment mentioning about the two one-ways that we had done, that they didn't really make too much sense, and I completely agree. So we bulldozed it, cleaned it up, and we're going to add a roundabout. But in this episode, we're going to be focusing on Suburban Sprawl, again, which will be the focal point of most episodes, downtown expansion, rail, and mail, which will be a lot of fun to get those two into the town. And I've got a lot of questions for you today, two specific questions. So we'll kick it off. One of them will happen later on in the episode here, and more so in the live play at the end of the episode. But I have a question for all of you. So as many of you might have seen from the many videos out there surrounding dev mode, I do officially have dev mode, and I use it to help limit rain in cinematics. The game likes to rain all the time, and depending on what maps you choose, there's some that have it less, but they chose, oddly enough, to not give us any control over the weather, so I explored dev mode. Kodiak the Kodiak was, I don't want to say fully to blame for it, but, you know, there were some people, definitely Teddy Radko, that inspired me to explore dev mode. So, my question for all of you, comment below. I want to hear from everybody in the community. Do you want to see us playing with dev mode on, yes or no? Now, the reason why I'm using dev mode, so maybe give you a little bit of more insight before you make up your decision or make up your mind. Before you make up your mind and comment below, why does Moose want to use dev mode? So the reason why I want to use dev mode is for anarchy. Anarchy is the big one. You've heard me rant about it almost every episode. I think no city builder should be coming out with dev mode. No city builder in 2023 should be coming out with network collisions. I understand that they had some reason why they had to do it. I still disagree. I think that it kind of sets the city builder up for failure by doing it. I don't like the collision, especially one that was pegged to be like the most realistic city builder. I know a lot of it was just press and wasn't actually true, but it's pegged as the most realistic city builder, and it's got a ways to go before I would call it the most realistic city builder. But, yeah, the network collisions have been driving me crazy. So you get anarchy with it. But the other thing is you can now place buildings. Now, it's restricted. It's find it, but without, you know, all the ploppable Rico stuff. So there are still limitations within it. But it does give me the ability to craft the cities the way that I want to really build a realistic city. So, we've been ranting for a bit here. Let me know, dev mode, yes or no. I'm going to come in here and use a trick that Bad Peanut taught me on a Discord call a while ago, using paths to stretch out the nodes. So the way that you do this, you select your path, you go into the upgrade tool, and you're going to want to make sure that snapping is turned off. That'll allow you to draw it out a little bit with the replace tool, and you just inch it over. It's a little wiggle, right? You probably heard it from other creators. I know other people talked about the wiggle, especially with roads, but you can wiggle that road to get it where you want. So we're going to do it here and fuss about with all of them, so we do them all at the same time there, which ended up being a pain. Turned out that I didn't even need to do that top one, so I could have deleted that other piece as well too. But, you know, we got to do it the hard way, right? And stretching the nodes out, why am I doing this, right? So the reason why I'm doing this is that it looks much more realistic when the trains come in. Now, we don't get the trains up and running in this episode because I'm not sure. I don't think I'm understanding the outside connections, if I'm being honest. I think I need to go back and reread the dev diary. But I thought that you could get outside connection, or like if you drew a rail pathway to an outside connection, that it would spawn in intercity trains, which it doesn't seem to be doing. I still need to make a subway yard. So I don't know, not sure about the intercity trains. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Dragged it out to the outside connection, connected it, and it still said that I need to draw trains, which I thought intercity trains wouldn't need a depot for my own city. You know, but I'm sure there's something that I'm doing wrong, and I guarantee you somebody's going to comment down below and be like, no, Moose, what are you doing? You got to do it this way. But, yeah. So, yeah, let me know. Educate me on it. So I don't think I'm understanding outside connections one heckin' bit. I don't get them. I try and do things that I thought I heard about in dev mode. that don't work, or in dev mode. Man, I got dev mode on the brain. Oh my god. Comment below, dev mode or nah. Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those recorded sessions, eh? Yeah, as many of you know, I've shared quite a few times before, but I have stopped drinking caffeine in the morning, and well, it's been a few months and I'm still recovering. Anyways, let's talk about paths, yeah? So we're stretching nodes. Using the pathways, it's kind of fun. And it's like a little wonky, I don't know, you put on some good music vibe, put on a YouTube video and just hang out while you do this, you know? Because it's fast in even in 200 speed, it's like, wow, that took a while. It was a lot longer when we're not in sped up footage. But speaking about speeding up the footage, so in this video, I went back to something that I did in the first episode of Strathcona, and I think it's something that a lot of people wished I continued. Nobody commented it, but I just feel like maybe people wished I continued it. I wished I continued it. I'm going to be slowing down the footage to regular speed for things of note. This would be things like leveling up, you know, milestones, progression, that type of stuff. But likewise, exploring building upgrades and other general things that I think are noteworthy. I'm going to bring the footage back to regular speed so that it's easier to follow along. Now, obviously, you can mess with stuff in YouTube and slow down footage or pause it, right? But I feel like it's something that people might appreciate. I just think it's nice. Like, I would like that in other videos that I watch. So I decided to bring that back. So you'll see that make an appearance throughout it, where the footage will just go back to regular speed on things that I think are important, that I would personally like the footage to be slowed down for. So talking about that, here it is, small homes. Now, I got a comment on the last video just before I recorded this, so I've got a little bit of information on how to mess with the small homes, but I'm still trying to fully figure it out, because I just, man, the small homes complain if it didn't lead to buildings getting abandoned, it wouldn't bother me. Like high rent, for example, doesn't lead to building abandonment, or at least I have not seen it lead to building abandonment in my own cities. So it's never been, I'm like, that's cool. I complain about high rent. I live in Vancouver, you know what I mean? So it doesn't bother me too much, but the small homes does seem to lead to abandonment, and that is less than ideal. Like, I feel like that mechanic, maybe no. But, you know, it is what it is. We've got some ways to combat it now, thanks to an awesome comment I got on the last video. So here we are exploring the progression tree, and I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. It was a little bit harder with this one. I wasn't really sure what way to go. Like, we don't really need the medium roads, and I couldn't really figure out what to do. Likewise, if I ever start another series with this, when we hit milestones, I think I'm going to send it out to the audience and ask what people want to see me upgrade to. I think that'd be a cool way to include you all more. But we went with college there, as you can see, and then I believe we go with the post sorting, and I'm glad that I went with the post sorting because it's a beautiful asset that ended up being a focal point at the end of the episode here, but also a great backdrop to sort of help figure out what's the scale of the city going to be, and where does industry begin, where does office begin, that type of stuff, versus where the downtown exists. So it ended up being, really cool. I don't know. I was very, it was not on the mind, you know what I mean? It wasn't the main point of interest today. But we placed a dog park there, trying to get better at placing more of those. And I was really hoping that the parking lot, that one would fit in there. I really wish we had, again, you know, yay, we got parking in the game now, but it would have been really nice if they did parking a different way. Likewise, I really hope that the tool that's used for like districts and industry stuff gets expanded on, whether that be modders, and I really think it will be modders. I don't know. Who knows what DLCs hold, right? But like, why is there not an ability to just use that tool to draw any size parking lot, and it just autofills with parking spaces, similar to how a industry area would autofill with, the industry land. Gonna place in some low rent buildings here, which again are gonna lead to the complaint of the small homes, and I've got some ways to combat it, so I'm gonna try and get better at that, because I love the assets. I think the assets look amazing, which is why I use it so much. Them in the medium density are incredible. The higher density ones are not bad if you use smaller zoning, which is kind of my go-to there. And you saw us earlier zone out some office space as well, because my thinking behind that is that's going to be our central business district. So where all that pink office is that I zoned out, that's going to be where the tallest buildings of our skyline are going to sit. So within that block there. And I really am trying to figure out this city as we go, because I don't know that it's going to be, you know, we started out with inspiration of Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, right? And I don't think that's what this city is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's what it's going to become. And then that's okay, right? We could start out with the inspiration. It doesn't have to become that, but I really think that this is going to become its own sort of Canadian entity, something that, I don't know, draws influence for a lot of places, but maybe ultimately becomes a little bit like smaller cities in Canada's version of the Midwest. Looking at you, Alberta, Manitoba, and Saskatchewan. But here we are coming in with the train line, and this is where my question, the first question, comes to all of you. Where are we going to sit? So the question kind of stems from what you see me do here. This is how I thought you drew intercity lines. So you draw a line from your station to the outside connection and then back to complete the route. But as you'll see, it comes up saying that I need a rail yard for the trains, right? And that's fine. We'll place a rail yard. But I didn't think that you needed a rail yard for intercity trains. So that might just be my misunderstanding or something during this part I did wrong, so let me know. I thought about doing the build-in upgrades, but I think we're going to hold off on it. Yes, I have unlimited money, but I try not to use that as like, let's just do whatever the hell we want because we have unlimited money. You know, I still want to incorporate some stuff, right? And so, yeah, it still needs the vehicles, but we can adjust the line there. I think trains will stay as 24-hour lines, and we can adjust the ticket price there, and the assigned vehicles, too, seems fine. But, yeah, we also need to find a spot for the rail yard, so that's my other big question. So 2 questions of the video. Where should I put the rail yard? And you'll see me zoom out. Likewise, I'm going to zoom out a lot in the live play, so if you're like, I'm not really sure, I need to see a little bit farther out, wait for the live play. It'll show you where, because we need to find a place for the rail yard. So please let me know below. Should I enable dev mode and start playing this game the way that I played the Cities 1 series that most of you know me from, Rural Canada A and Cities Skylines Netherlands? Or do we keep it clean, wait for Paradox mods? Likewise, where does the rail yard sit in this build? I want to hear from all of you. Let me know down below. So we're going to expand the suburbs a little bit here up to the edge of the grid there. And then we're just going to draw. And also, that's the mansion there. I got a comment. People maybe weren't... I don't know. They maybe didn't understand the meme. So I was talking about Chad Kroger last episode. I don't think Nickelback's music is as bad as people say it is. I really don't. But it's not like my go-to. It's not my type of music. I'm a I fluctuate. I go between elder emo brewery kid, despite the fact that I don't drink alcohol, but a elder emo, you know, hipster brewery kid that listens to sad indie songs, right? To a hardcore kid that moshes at hardcore shows and catches COVID. You know, that's kind of like where I fluctuate music-wise. I don't really listen to Nickelback, but not a lot of people like that. And likewise, man, I really should know his name. I didn't get into them, but the singer of that really famous Canadian band, I think that's who we go with instead. He passed away. The Tragically Hip, is that what they're called? I never listened to it. It wasn't I respected them, like musically talented, sure. Just wasn't my type of music. But I forget the guy's name that passed away. Maybe we should do that building as like a Tragically Hip museum. Maybe in honor of him. Okay, that's probably what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna get educated on the band and the singer who sadly passed away. And maybe we do that as a memorial for him instead. The Chad Kroger meme's fine, but why don't we do something cool like that instead? And it's really Canadian, obviously. So, yeah, I think we'll do that instead. I can only imagine how many subscribers I just lost by not knowing who that is. I really do apologize. It wasn't my type of music. I never really got into them, but I respect it nonetheless. I think, as I am with most music that I don't listen to, I still respect the talent of people, right? So anyways, we're going to expand these suburbs, and there's just something so, I want to say relaxing and peaceful about doing this. Like, look at it. It's snowing. You know, in real life, it's November. It's getting later. It's getting cold. I have to wear a jacket on my bike rides to the gym now. It's getting cold. And, you know, like, the game is emulating reality, you know?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Something like that. I don't even know. But it's rather peaceful zoning out all these suburbs. Albeit time-consuming, sure, but, you know, we're sped up at... It still seems quite time-consuming, even sped up at 200%. Maybe I should just, like... Because we're going to have to do a lot of this, because it looks really realistic with them spread out. We're going to come in and add trees, so there will be stuff in between those lots. It'll be trees and stuff like that to make it look nice and more realistic. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we can speed this up to like 500% or something. I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say let me know if you think it's boring, but I've asked you too many questions. I don't want to overwhelm all of you. Don't worry, there's no test. Just comment down below right now. Do I use dev mode? Do I use... yeah, do I use dev mode? Or where does the subway yard go? Because I'm a little bit confused where to put it. I'll find it eventually, but, you know, we still got to grow out the downtown. And I was really hoping to get the downtown done here. But I guess using selective zoning, which I do think nets you the most realistic results, while zoning is not the most realistic. I think using selective zoning, it gets you the closest we can now without mods to really get the look. But, like, look at it in winter, man. I've seen a lot of people say that they don't like winter in this game. I mean, dude, I love it. I do not understand that take. To each their own, right? It's not anything against people who don't like it. I don't like what the trees do. Their LOD needs to be fixed with the snow. But overall, I love it. I love the particle effects. I think they look really good. I think there's stuff that needs fixing, obviously. And somebody mentioned that there's cars full of snow. So I need to find that. I still have yet to see them, but that sounds hilarious. I need to check that out. I never really looked at the carts, examined it too much, but I need to to go in and check that out. So here we are. We're placing down the what's it called, post sorting facility, and look at that. Look at that as a backdrop to the city, eh? Oh heck yeah! Oh heck yeah! So this is gonna kind of signify the bounds of what will be the industry area, right? And sort of where that's gonna sit, and yeah, I don't know. I just think it gives a really nice backdrop to it, and it leads more into the fact that I think this city is actually inspired by cities like Regina, cities like Winnipeg, and even a little bit of Brandon, Manitoba, honestly. A little bit of Red Deer, too. A little bit of Red Deer. Red Deer's downtown always inspires me the way that the highway splits through. So I really think that this is a city more... Now, the mountains, I get it. It's not realistic with the mountains, but it is what it is. We work with the maps that we have. So here is where I can really show off why I want to use dev mode. And you guys can all let me know, yes or no. We're going to turn on bypass validation results. And what that does is that allows us to ignore error messages like this is overlapping. You're going to see me place it. What's overlapping, but I can still place it. Think of this as your anarchy mode. And so we can come in, we're going to turn snapping off because I want to get it nice and fine-grained to the lines there. But we're going to place it first, and I realize that it's not facing the road correctly. So I'm going to get that adjusted and then flip it over. Also, that was hydrate time. Hydrate, everybody. I need to call it out or come up with some witty catchphrase. You know, Biffa's got the best one. What was it? Sip of tea, and then what's Zardis's coffee, right? Yeah, coffee break. I gotta come up with one. I drink a lot of water, so like, I guess water break. I don't know. But yeah, there I am coming in and getting that a little bit closer. So again, just let me know if you want dev mode on or not. Let me know. This city is as much your my audience's project as it is, you know, my city, right? So yeah, let me know what you think of that. It's fun, man. It's been fun messing with it, but you know, it's not like I will not be sad. If we decide not to. Probably it's something that I should pull out, but I've been doing so many polls lately that I don't want to... We're taking a break. I'm taking a sabbatical from polls for a little bit. So we're adjusting that up because I want that road to be a straight shot through to connect to the train station because I think it... I don't know, I just think that would make sense, right? That the road would lead out there to where the rail is. That set the stage for the city there as well. So, coming in here... I was thinking, what can we do here? I've got some time left, you know, on my footage recording time. What do I want to do to fill in this episode? Because we wrapped up, we got the mail in there, you know, the train station's been placed. We're kind of figuring out where that is, waiting to figure out what I want to do with rail going forward, if I want it to come through the city or not. What can I do here? Suburban Expansion. But we're also going to mess with the mail. and we're going to mess with the mailboxes. And in case you didn't know, citizens will actually drop off mail at the mailboxes. Now, I haven't seen it, but I did see it on Reddit, so it's confirmed that the animation is in the game. Likewise, I saw people doing pull-ups and push-ups at the outdoor gym, so we got to get that placed and see if that's, well, it's real. Somebody posted the footage of it on Reddit, which I was like, what the? It looks, it looks wild. Maybe if I can find the post. I don't know if I can find the post again. If I did, you'll be seeing it right now. And if I didn't, you're seeing me zone more suburbs. Both are equally riveting, so. Here we are coming in with some parks because the suburbs are going to need parks. It's something that I recommend you guys focus on early on there, you know, because some of them have odd shapes. But likewise, we're going to bulldoze a building here, right? It's just like it is what it is. Eminent domain for a park is not too terrible, you know? It could be worse. Also, buildings will randomly generate hearts from them, and somebody told me that's when citizens are... How can I say it on YouTube? Are engaged in love, and they're producing a child, right? Let me know if that's true. Also, here I am coming in, because somebody said that on Reddit, so I don't know, man, fact check it, but here I come in with the mailboxes. We're just going to space those out evenly. I think that they'd be along a main arterial there. We have mailboxes all over the place in downtown Vancouver, so that's why I'm placing a bunch. I love that these are in the game, that they function, that people drop off mail. That's so cool. Imagine these functioning and we could get like Canada Post ones in. That would be so cool. So I'm going to wrap up here, and I'm going to connect with all you in the live play, and we're going to go over kind of some more stuff, proposing the questions again, but showing you guys a little bit of the space where rail yards could go. So I'm going to leave you all with some footage here as we wrap up and head into the live play. So stick around for the live play. Got a bunch of questions for you, and I want to hear from all of you in the comments below. Welcome back, everybody, to the live play portion of the video. So pretty exciting episode, general expansion, and I think this is how the episodes are going to go for a bit until I kind of figure out where I want to take this series and where we're going to really go with it. It's a lot harder in this one because I don't have the custom assets to really curate the look that I want, especially for Canadian cities. I've been finding them a lot harder to do in this. Not insanely hard. You know, there's buildings like this that do exist throughout Canadian cities, but I guess harder for the ones that I'm familiar with. You know, being somebody that lives in Vancouver, British Columbia, we have such a specific look for our city, and I think Toronto does as well too, likewise Montreal. So I had to look at other cities that are, you know, all due respect, more generic, you know, the Winnipegs, the Reginas, the Brandon, Manitobas, you know, that have a little bit more this architecture. And I don't know, maybe we switch up our inspiration for this series as well, because I am really liking the look of this, like the smaller, I don't know, there's just something, I really like the look of the buildings, and you look at it from the suburbs. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed that episode. We need to figure out trains, because I thought that line would have connected intercity, and maybe it will. Maybe someone will comment and say, nah, you did it wrong, here's how you do it, which wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. But yeah, we've got to figure out trains. So the main question, again, as I mentioned during the time lapse, where, let me give you a zoom out here too, nice slow footage so you can really take it in. Where should we put the train yard? Where would you like to see that go? Let me know down below. Look at that, I'm rhyming, eh? But yeah, where do we want to put it? Let me know in the comments below where you would like to see that. Likewise, I'm going to start implementing your names for districts. Got a bunch of awesome name suggestions, so those will be implemented for the next video. I'm going to go through them and just pick the ones that I think are cool. Definitely, probably it's just going to be a lot of moose-related stuff, so I'm going to come in and just, yeah, name a bunch of stuff, moose things. And I think we did better. I got a comment about breaking up this road or having it, you know, make more sense, more of a purpose. I feel like this makes a little bit more sense. Maybe the curve could have been like, you know, an old trail, or it was used for rail at some point, or a streetcar like Vancouver that was ripped out, you know, something like that to it. And I think cutting it off so it wasn't two one-ways that split, I think this sells the idea a little bit more. But if we come into the downtown, taking a look at the abandoned buildings. Now, a lot of these, they did fix themselves, the ones here, so that's cool. But a lot of the low rent apartments for me, and I asked this before and I didn't get a comment below, so maybe people don't know, which is totally fair. A lot of them seem to complain the highest, and it's -16, right? So if I could fix -1 on high noise pollution, it's going to be noisy. I don't think I'm going to fix that because we're in the downtown. It's going to be noisy, right? And a -1 is not that bad in my opinion. But -16 for small homes, I don't know how I address that. If somebody knows how, let me know. Seems like they're just complaining about this. Like, I can't go over there to get more information on it. But, yeah, it's interesting because I love the look of this. Would love to have a, no abandonment mod and whatnot and stuff like that. But speaking of mods, I have 2 questions for you today, obviously, right? Where does the rail yard depot go? But the other question for all of you is kind of a joint question. I know I'm asking a lot of all of you today, but it's kind of a joint question. One, do you want to see me use dev mode? Is it okay if I use dev mode? And this is for things such as anarchy. Anarchy is probably honestly like the biggest one. I have it on now, as mentioned in the time lapse, so that I can control the weather to take better screenshots and not be stuck giving you only rain for an episode or only snow for an episode. They're nice, but in, moderation, right? And the follow-up to the question, if we do enable dev mode, am I allowed to return to my cities one ways? And what I mean by this is that in dev mode, and I'm sure many of you have seen videos on it, but if I hit the home button here, and let's just go NA level 5. This is what we've been doing over on Twitch. I can place buildings again. You still have to do the zoning. It's not really a mod, and we had to approach it with caution. There's some sussiness, but I can place that down, and boom, we have that built in there. Now, as you'll notice, condemned, right? But if I go here, we don't have high density unlocked. Okay, so I had to be even more careful, which I kind of like, honestly. But let's do low density. So if I go here, boom, that one will stay in function. It's level 5, so it won't upgrade, and we can start to craft the look a little bit. But I want to know from all of you, this would be kind of me returning to my ways, and I don't know if that means like, do we do another restarted city for the channel? I don't think so. I'm happy with the layout. We can go in and adjust stuff as we need. But yeah, I guess let me know, because there is a bridge idea I messed with on Twitch that I'd love to bring here, but it does require anarchy. And that is all in your control. So to recap here, couple questions. We'll zoom out here so you get a nice, let's hop into here into the photo mode. Let's hide the UI there so you get a nice view of the city that we've created so far. And I'm really happy. This is my favorite map in the game currently. So I'll give you this nice view here, maybe out a little bit. So couple questions to recap. Where do you want to see the rail yard? Where should we put that so we can get trains functioning? Likewise, do we enable dev mode? Yes or no? And enabling dev mode, it's on now because I use it for cinematics, but what I mean by enabling it is using it to its full potential. So anarchy would be the main mod that we'd be using. So anarchy to bypass a lot of the stuff that kind of I've been expressing my frustrations about. And the other question to that, do we use the built-in find it and go back to plopping buildings by hand, creating a city that kind of looks the way that I want to, and really crafting this city out to be as Canadian as we can do in Cities Skylines 2. So that's it for the live play. Bunch of questions for you. Let me know. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to the people that support me over on Patreon and Coffee. Disney Dude 1, Shane Turner, Fish Bob, Braygard, the Yed _ Anthropophagic, the Jonah, Trevor Sabo, Poplar Ponderosa, and Steve Burkett. Thank you all so much for the support. I'm Canadian Moose Plays. This was Cities Skylines 2, and I'll catch you all in another video real soon. Happy building, eh?